Hey y'all, I'm a little early. I'm just trying to see what lighting looks like. Um, and also, for some odd reason, the chat has been disabled. So, I don't know why. I don't know if you can see on your end. If you're able to chat, let me know. But yeah, on my end, it looks as if you're unable to chat, which makes absolutely no sense. Going back in to see why I can't see it. So I'm feeling like I don't know. I don't know if it's a reason y'all ain't supposed to chat. I mean, type today, but I really want y'all to be able to type. So let me see if it's anything that I can clear up on my end. So I know I'm a couple of minutes early. So if you're popping in, you haven't missed anything. I'm looking at the video trying to figure out why y'all can't comment. Let me know if you see a comment box on your side. So if you are able to comment, go ahead and comment so that I can see. But again, on my end, it looks as if I'm unable to comment. Okay, I see the comment box now. Y'all just gonna have me working hard. Okay, thank you. I'm like, nobody gonna say anything. All right, y'all. So we have a couple of more minutes before we get started. Literally 1 minute to be exact. So if you don't have your journals, you don't have a red, yellow, and green writing utensil, find one. If you don't have any of those colors, just write to the side a note to invest in a red, green, and yellow marker, pen, color pencil, whatever it may be. By the end of this live, that is going to be something that you would like to have a part of your journal possession, okay? Hey, y'all. All right. It's 8:30 and we're going to go on and get this thing started, okay? First, hello, y'all. I am so excited. We are on day 7. Can y'all believe the day went by this quick? So let's go ahead and put a couple of disclaimers. We were supposed to see a Renee forward facing today, and it's just not going to happen. Yep, that's A. B, we're going to talk about A3 crew. We're going to talk about that and how that can be a journal moment. So tonight, what's going to happen, we're going to dialogue. So I need y'all to talk back and forth to me. I am able to see your comments as they come up. So as we're talking, like, I want to know how you felt this week. Did you learn anything new? Were you like, oh, this is just okay? Did you fight yourself in your journal moments and all of the above? Okay. So we're going to talk about that. And then we are going to talk about a weekly recap. I did see some of you all were excited and you started setting up your pages, and I'm like, wait, not yet. I want to show y'all what a weekly recap is, okay? So a weekly recap is something I've been doing for quite a bit of time. I do several recaps to be exact. I do daily recaps, not every day, but on some days I do a daily recap. I do a weekly recap. I also do monthly, and I also do quarterly, okay? So that's about 4 of them, I believe I listed. You may want to take some small notes on this as well. So if you have some scratch sheet of paper or extra sheet of paper in your journal, by all means, go ahead and do that. And again, I am so excited that this week went how it did. It actually exceeded my expectations. So I was super excited to see the journal entries, the what do you call it? The interaction, whether you typed anything or not, y'all, my analytics tells me like how many people paid attention to a post if you viewed the post. So even if you didn't say anything, just the fact that you popped in to check in on the group meant a lot, all right? So that does not take away from your involvement in the group. Now, before we even talk about weekly recap, I'm gonna need some comments in the section. How did this week make you feel? How did you do with the week? And as I'm reading the comments as they come in, I will start flipping through my journal so y'all can kind of see how the week developed. And also, did you complete all the journal entries? Did you complete some? If you did not complete all of them, y'all, don't feel bad, because we're going to talk about how journal moments typically go in an ideal week anyway, okay? So a 7-day journal boot camp is more intense than the average person that journals. Unless you just journal naturally and you journal every single day of the week, the average person is probably only going to journal 2 to 3 times out of the week. So what I've structured in the boot camp is several things that you can utilize as a blueprint to journal and different ways to use your journal. Okay, awesome. So it pushed you outside of your box. Great. Okay, so Kimberly, with those distractions, I'm gonna shoot out some journal prompts for y'all quickly. So what I would do with that, and that's gonna come along with the weekly recap. You're gonna write or brain dump what those distractions are. You don't have to list them in the comment section, but you're gonna write those distractions, and you're gonna write how the distractions affected you, who were a part of those distractions, and what role that you played in those distractions as well. It's probably not going to be the most easiest journal prompt for you, but it is something that if you pay attention to it more, you'll know how to adjust as necessary. And hang on to that word adjust, because we're going to talk about that word in a second. Awesome, awesome. Okay, y'all. So this was my journal that I used for the journal prompts. And so there is something about journal entries that I really, really love a lot. I love seeing my pages start wrinkling. As you can see, like you see how much is being used and what's left over. So that's really exciting for me in my journal moment. So I love seeing like a developed journal, like even my planner pages, a journal, just seeing them kind of used makes me a little excited. I feel like I'm accomplishing some stuff. All right. All right. So we're going to start with day 1 in my journal. And so this was day 1. So day 1, I made sure that I printed out the journal prompts, and I kind of just washi taped mine in so that I can flip through to see what the next assignment was or the next drill for the day was. And that's how I utilize these prompts. Some people, I love how you all cut out the different parts of the journal prompts. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to go print mine out and add some stuff, because it's really cute how y'all took the different things on the side and you utilized it. That is a part of creative journaling. And so I would see a lot of people say, oh, I didn't do it right, I didn't do this. If you listen to me on the first day that we did the live, I mentioned to you all there is no wrong or right way to journal. So the instructions that I gave you for each journal drill, it was a guide, but it didn't say that you have to do this X, Y, and Z. Now, some of you all did fight me on some of the drawing because you were like, I can't. But then some of you was like, you know what? I'm not going to talk myself out of something. I'm going to do something different, because apparently you signed up for this, so you wanted to try something new. And what I gathered and I saw from a lot of you all, you actually did better than you thought you could do. So many times you will talk yourselves out of advancing in life because you've been telling yourself you can't for so long, that even in something as simple as try to draw a camel, many of you have probably talked yourselves out of. Okay, so I know there are going to be some people that watch this a little bit later, and some people watching it now that are like, girl, why are you talking about me? I'm talking about you. Because I've been there. I've been to a place where you often say, I can't. And you've told yourself, I can't, so much that it has become a new norm for you. And so this journal exercise was to get you out of your comfort zone, because you never know what you can do unless you try something different. All right. Awesome. Okay. So like I said, I take this in. That was not a wrong or a right way. Easier for me to keep up with. Then we did the journal, the great, the good, and the not so good. So let me explain to y'all, when I designed this journal boot camp, what my assignment as the instructor was. My assignment as the instructor was to pay attention to the group, pay attention to the rhythm of the group. And as you posted your post, I paid attention to your captions above your post. So what a lot of us, myself included, and I did it on the first day. When I first came on here, I told y'all my nails wasn't done. They still aren't done. We have a tendency as women, we will point out our flaws so that if somebody potentially hurts our feelings, we can say, oh, well, I already said that, or I already mentioned it. So what I noticed in a lot of the posting was deflection. And you may want to write this word down, deflection. How did I deflect during the journal moments? Why did I find myself deflecting or explaining myself a lot? So what I noticed was I might just say, hey, post something. And if many of y'all noticed, Joy was a moderator in the group as well. And you'll see Joy on here. And she would be like, hey, where are your camel pics? Or your smile. Do we have any smile posts? And instead of just boldly posting your smile or your camel post, we had an explanation for why we did what we did when that wasn't the instructions, okay? And so I really want a lot of you all to take heed to that and pay attention to how that actually carries over into your everyday life. The way we journal, the way we explain ourselves has a lot to do with the stages that we currently are in our lives, all right? So that is something that I did pick up on. Outside of that, I picked up on the excitement. Once you got over explaining yourself, I saw so many people excited about like, man, I didn't know I could actually journal like this. And it feels good to actually focus on the not so good moments. So this entire 7-day journey was composed of the not so good. No, let's go back. We had the great, the good, and the not so good. So let's go ahead and point out where you found the great, okay? So the great was to take notes. I'm excited. I'm trying something new. The smile could actually go apart with the great as well. The good, let's see where we are with the good. The good could be see yourself. Everybody's good is going to be a little different, but a lot of you all wrote about the see yourself, and you saw happier sides that you probably would not have paid attention to if you wrote your journal entry in the I form. When you tend to write your journal entries in the I form, you're selfish and you only see one side. When you wrote your journal entries in the she, you really focused on the outer, like looking at yourself on the outside. So I saw a lot of good moments in those. The not so good with the she entries, there were some of those. I did see quite a few posts where y'all focused on the not so good moments more than the good moments. And it takes time to train yourself to look at all sides of your life. I will say this. If you're used to talking about everything that's wrong, you focus on that more. So I would encourage you over the time to focus on like, okay, if I didn't have a good day, what was at least one thing that went okay? So I'm not telling you not to write about your not so good day, but you want to make sure that your journal has a balance, okay? If you find yourself always writing about the not so good, at some point, find one small win in that day. I don't care if you took a shower and it was a good long shower. Write that in your journal. Somewhere you want to break up that it's just that heaviness in your journal, and then that will keep you revisiting your journal. Most people do not want to come back to their journal because it reads like a broken record and it doesn't read like a book. All right, so that's how you saw that. So then we had this is the see yourself. So I wrote that, took my pictures. Y'all, my little, what you call that thing is horrible. What is that thing called, y'all? Where is it? I have a sprocket. That's mine. Mine is a sprocket, and it was just a little crazy. So this was my smile page, and I added a couple of flowers. And so for me, yellow speaks like happiness for me. I don't know about y'all, but yellow just kind of gave me like cheerful. So that's why I had yellow. I absolutely love flowers. And I used some stuff from my planner sticker books. So all of y'all that got 800 sticker books out there, you can use your sticker books in your journals and start using and shopping your stash. All right. So that was smile. Then we went and we did the camel. Now, what you will notice on my pages, I wrote the words, but I did not do my journal entry. I believe I read a post that mentioned that it was heavy and they'll have to come back to it. They don't know if they're going to be able to finish it all in one sitting. That was my story. Like, I knew what my words were, but I just wasn't ready to write just yet, okay? So that does happen in journal moments. A lot of times you may set up a page and you will come back and revisit it, and that's totally fine. So that is that. Then we had the little short mini session where I explained how you can brain dump and you just write different topics that you would like to write about. That is something that you would add like in your journal. Maybe each week you create a brain dump page inside of your journal. And as certain topics come up or phrases that will jog your memory, you're just going to write it down. And then at the end of the week, when you do your weekly recap, then that's something that you can kind of go back to, and it'll actually jog your memory on what worked, what didn't work, etc. Then we did Plan on It. Plan on It was one of my favorite ones, right? So Plan on It was basically targeted for my planner ladies. And I know I have quite a few of you all in here. So I was like, let's see how productive you really are, or how busy you are, or you claim to be. And have you really accomplished more, or are you just busy? A exercise for you to look at what you're doing to see if it's working and if you need to adjust some of those things. And so a lot of y'all seem to take well to that. After that, we went over, and this was our song. So this was one of my favorite journal entries for this. It was find a song that's going to bring positivity into your space. So it wasn't like go find your sad song. You know, when you was younger and you had a breakup, I don't know, I'm just gonna talk about me. When you was younger and you went through a breakup, and I don't know why this was done, but you would go find every sad song. And so mine was more of go listen to Mary J. Blige whole CD and sing with my non-singing self. So that's what you typically do, right? So usually when people are having not so good moments, they're going to put some sad music on. They're going to crack this journal open. They're going to put Mary on, and Mary going to have you depressed. Your handwriting in your journal is going to be big, sloppy, mad. And then you got to come back and read this foolishness because you was sitting up here listening to Mary crying, and you crying and writing at the same time. So I said, let's do something a little bit different. Let's write something that actually makes us happy. So if you're having a not so good moment, you can flip to this page that's more inspirational and won't have you, you know, crying, right? So this was fun for me. And then this page, I actually had already created this page before, or somewhere mid where the boot camp started. Monday. Matter of fact, I created this page Monday with my patrons on my Patreon site, and I was showing them how to make a junk journal page. So this will take us over into the weekly recap. So I had wrote a journal entry and then this, but I actually created a secret door which folds, and this set up for my weekly recap. So you already see the date set right here. And then I set this up so that we could do the weekly recap. All right, so that was the rundown of how the week looks. So hopefully y'all journals look a little thick. And I'm pretty sure some of you probably have never seen your journal develop like 7 days consistently. All right, so again, on this page, this is going to be the weekly recap. What a weekly recap is basically a breakdown of your week. And this is where your notes may come in, so you can kind of know what goes on your weekly recap. So with the weekly recap, you want to kind of think of a traffic light. So at a traffic light, you have red, yellow, and green. So red says, look, girl, you need to stop. You don't stop, you're going to get a ticket. Yellow says, okay, you need to proceed with caution or slow down. And many of us do one or the other. Yellow can possibly get you a ticket because you didn't slow down when you needed to. And then you have green, that is go. So you're going to use that same philosophy in breaking down your week. How did things go in your week? What did not work? What needs adjusting, slowing down? Like, do you need to rethink some things, slow down, try it a little bit later, or reassess it one more week before you decide it did not work? That's going to be area. And then your green area is going to be like, girl, I was the bomb. This was the bomb week. It worked. I need to keep this. This is working for me in my life and others. That's going to be your green. Now, with your weekly recap, what tends to happen is most people, if you're working, you're going to mainly focus on work life as an accomplishment. Not working, you're typically going to focus on I'm not working, so nothing is working. What I have structured in my life with the weekly recap, I break it down in categories. So you're going to have your work life, you're going to have your personal friends and family, and then you're going to have self-care. And so in those areas, that's how you're going to break down what did not work, what's working, and what needs adjusting and what's working. So you can do a few things. I kind of like to do a list making method. And I don't have my, y'all trying to see if I have one so y'all can see it. Let me see. Let me see if I have one that y'all can see. Y'all know I always got to be off camera, because you never know what I'll flip through. So now I can actually show you this. Now this is actually a planner, so it already pretty much lays it down like I need to. And so this was my red, my yellow, my green, and then I just broke it down on this side, okay? And so I basically said what worked, what didn't. So I like to use the traffic light approach, and it makes it easier for me to break down my journal entries. All right, so let's just say, thank you for putting it in there. So she basically told y'all can take that note right down. You're going to break down your work life, friends and family, and self-care. Now, you very well may have another category that you want to add in there. You definitely can do that. So what I use stickers from my shop, because I don't always want to write certain things down. And it already has weekly recap. And these are my other stickers that I use: daily recap, weekly recap, a to-do. And then if you don't want to write what didn't work, what needs adjusting, what worked, then you can do that right there. Another thing that I typically do at the bottom is I'm going to write 1 to 2 small goals that I want to carry over into the next week. And again, this can be more of a list making thing. So let's say you say, okay, well, Adrian, I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Well, in that case, you can flip over to your next pages, and that's when your intense journal writing can go in, like what did not work. Now, when you're writing what did not work, we're going to go by what we talked about on day 1. If you lie to your journal, you'll lie to yourself and you'll lie to anybody else. Okay, so if something did not work, it just did not work. And you want to be honest. Now, with that being said, a lot of you will lean more toward a relationship that did not work versus other things in your life that did not work. You may have procrastinated all week and things did not go like they should have gone, but you may lean more on that relationship that you're mad that ended, and that becomes your journal entry. That is only one small portion of a weekly recap. Hey, Tammy. And if you find yourself focusing on one area, then what's not working is you paying attention to all areas of your life. And so that in itself could be a journal entry. All right, so that's that. So your weekly recap, you have 3 things. I'm telling you, if you ever think of the traffic light, it makes it super easy. Red, yellow, green. Yield, go. Where do I need to put this in my life? In all the categories that you need to do that, then you evaluate yourself. So what happens is by the end of the month, if you do this consistently, and this can equate to 1 journal entry, and I'm going to tell you how y'all can fill your journals up. This can equate to 1 journal entry. So what happens is for 4 to 5 weeks, depending on how many weeks are in that month, for 4 to 5 weeks, if you write consistently, you should see growth in those areas in your life. If you do not see growth within a month, then you should be able to say it's a whole lot not working. And at that point is when you then start doing a self-evaluation on why these things aren't working and what could be done differently. And so what you want is your list in the red to get smaller and your list in the green to get larger. All right, so all I'm doing right now is just creating the sections. And then I'm putting this right here. And remember, you can just make this as a list initially. and then you can turn it into a journal entry. Yes, y'all were really, really creative. Like, it was just amazing. Y'all, I was cheesing. I was really cheesing. But yes, it definitely can show y'all progression. Like, a lot of times, what'll happen by December, so many people will say, I didn't get anything done this year. And it's not that you didn't get anything done this year. It's just that you didn't take the time to track those different things. And again, it goes back to most journal entries will reflect everything that went wrong, but it doesn't reflect what went right. And so you're doing yourself a disservice when you're not allowing yourself to see all sides of your life. And so what I would suggest with this week, let's say you say, okay, I'm not happy that I didn't finish my journal prompts. You would say, what did not work about it? What needs adjusting? And what worked? So that could be one approach that you take to try this method out. Why didn't you journal? And you just be honest. This is why I did not journal. But you have to really be open with being honest with yourself, because if you're not open with honesty, it's going to be very hard to see your growth, y'all. Like, and there's no other way that I can put it. All right, so as I'm just drawing these lines and stuff on here, y'all, this is a little extra stuff. Do y'all have any questions? Do you have any questions before I get into what the next step is, if you really liked this journal session and you would like to continue going? Because I do want to explain that. Lastly, I know that somebody asked me about the pens that I used in a video prior. I don't know which video you're speaking of, but what actually will happen is I do have a Amazon store that I'll be putting the things that I use in a journal, and I can link that. But 9 times out of 10, I know my outliners were huge using those. Some of these Stapler pens, and it's probably going to be Scribbles by KP pens. That's definitely going to be something that you see me use often. Right. Okay, yeah. So a lot of times, y'all, if y'all see these pens, it's going to be by Scribbles by KP, especially if it's a very fine point pen. Most of my fine point pens are from Scribbles by KP. And all of that will be listed in my Patreon, which we're going to talk about in a second. You'll have links in the discount codes to certain shops that I shop with, including mine and other shops. All right, so before we talk about Patreon, your assignment for tonight is to do a weekly recap. You can do 2, but the first one I want you to do is based around the journal boot camp, okay? Because I want you to be really with the process of this 7 days. We had 82 members to be exact in the group. And out of those 82, I don't know how many people completed it. And I probably honestly won't know out of all the 82. But as long as you do this entry, I don't care if I don't ever see the entry, but as long as you're doing this entry and you're honest with yourself, what didn't work about your journal process, what needs adjusting, what worked. And it can go as far as, I wasn't committed. That didn't work because I didn't commit to it. I didn't schedule. I didn't write it down in my planner. I wasn't open to change. If that's your truth, that's what didn't work. What needs adjusting? Maybe your adjustment may be, I need to stop overthinking. I need to allow myself to write freely and to write the good moments and the great moments. It's okay to be happy, okay? So these may be some of the things that you need to write. The great may be, Renee didn't push me past my limits, and I actually did it without folding. Some of you all may have completed the 7 days, and this may be the very first thing in your life that you actually have completed. And if that is a journal entry worth writing in your journal. Okay, so definitely want you all to try the actual weekly recap and see how that works for you. So there are a couple of things that you can always see in your journal if you're consistent. So will most 7 days a week? No. And that's not saying that I don't believe in you and I don't think that you can or you can't. It's just the reality of using a journal. Using a journal is being intentional, and intentional requires tasks that you're willing to complete each day or the days that you set out to do it, okay? And at the end of the day, we do what we want. And there's nothing else behind it. And I know that might sound harsh, but we do what we want, all right? So when you get to that point that you want something different or you want to feel different about your life and you want to see it, a lot of times it needs to be seen in black and white. And so again, it's not to make anybody feel bad, but when you're ready, you'll write. And when you're ready to expand on your writing experience, you will, all right? But a couple of things that you can always see in your journals, even if you only wrote 2 times out the week. If every Monday you write a Monday motivational quote, and after you write that quote, you write how that quote makes you feel, that's a journal entry 1. If you write a weekly recap on Fridays, that's 2 journal entries. If you do 2 journal entries for 52 weeks straight, let's do our math. 52 times 2, that's 4. That's 104 journal entries. You can almost fill up half of a journal if you did that. So that's just to kind of show you how if you get in the rhythm of something, it can happen. Okay? So let's talk about Patreon, y'all. Let's talk about Patreon. So you joined the 7-day boot camp and you like, I kind of like it. I think I like it, but I think I need a little more. Let's talk about how you can get there and what you would do. All right, so Journal Jot and Jive. There are different components of Journal Jot and Jive. So many of you all probably joined the free group, and you may notice that that free group runs a little different. You didn't see what you saw in the 7-day boot camp, and there's a reason behind that. The free journal group is solely for you all to motivate and network journal-wise. However, many people have not become comfortable with sharing a journal prompt or page because they feel like they have to share their journal entry. And that group it's not my responsibility to push that group the same way that I push this one. So when somebody pays me for a service, it's for me to work. When there's a free group, the group works itself, if that makes any sense. So will I post stuff in there? Yeah, I'll do something motivation like every Friday. It's like, what is your win? Now, I can't hold your hand and say, post what your win is. That's just for me to keep the group going. I'll show occasional journal pages just to keep the momentum. If people choose to post, they post. If they don't, they don't. That's the purpose of that group. Sharing ideas about using a journal. Now, if you're like, okay, girl, I need something a little more. You have Patreon. So what Patreon is it's a subscription service. And what happens is once a month, you're pledging a certain amount because you're like, I like what you have to offer. And in return, I give you something for that pledge that you're pledging to Journal Jot and Jive. And those funds help me add different things to Journal Jot and Jive. I'll be able to hire different people to edit certain forms and eventually release a journal. Plain and simple. You're investing into Journal Jot and Jive, and I give you something in return. So there are different tiers. So tier number 1 is the $5 tier. The $5 tier says, girl, I like what you got going on. I'm probably not going to journal. I'm digging what you trying to do and what you're bringing to the world. So I'm just going to support you every month for $5, okay? I like it. I may pick up a journal once a year, but I'm just going to invest in Journal Jot and Jive. That's the $5. Your $10 tier is going to grant you access to 2 Monday lives, typically the first Monday of the month and the last Monday of the month. And that's your motivational Mondays where we come in there, we find a motivational quote, we build out a page, and we chat in there. And that's to kind of keep you focused for the rest of the week. With that tier, you will get 4 detailed journal prompts. Now, if you have been paying attention to the detailed journal prompts, then you pretty much know I'm not giving y'all no how was your day journal prompts. So there'll be 4 detailed journal prompts, and then you actually have a discount to my store, and that code changes every month because some people may stay, some people may go, so those codes change every month. So that's what you get for the $10 tier. The $25 tier gets everything that the tiers above it receives, right? So obviously they're going to get the 4 journal prompts, the 2 Monday motivation lives. Now, the $25 tier gets a month worth of journal prompts. What does that mean? Are you going to get 7 journal prompts per week? No. My journal prompts are extremely loaded, so it would be too much for me to give you 7 journal prompts per week. That's not the goal. The journal prompts that I give you will be 3 to 4 journal prompts per week, but they're very detailed. If you don't believe me, you can ask a couple of the ladies that are on here because they're in the journal sessions. I mean, they're already Patreons, and they're loaded journal prompts. So you'll get 3 to 4 journal prompts per week. You get 30% off in the store, and then you're going to get an extra video that nobody else has access to. All right. So that's what comes with the $25 tier. And right now, those are the only tiers that I am releasing right now. Soon there will be another tier, but we're not going to talk about that yet because I am not ready to release that tier. Okay. So that's how Patreon works. And what happens is Patreon typically will bill you on the 1st of each month. So I'm not going to release the link until tomorrow at 6 a.m. in the Journal Bootcamp group. The link will go in there. You click on the link, you sign up, and then you download the app, and then you'll see everything there. And then your journal prompts for this month will actually be released on the 2nd, but your first assignment will already be listed in Patreon for the 1st. So yeah, so it's, when I say y'all, they're deep. Will there be some lighthearted ones in there? Yes, but the journal will fill up. If you roll with me, I can almost guarantee, and if you do the work that I put on the journal prompts, you can fill a journal up within 3 to 4 months, if not before that. So that is how that works. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I am forgetting? I don't think there's anything else that I'm forgetting. But like I said, I did forget. Let me tell you what the topic is. Okay. So next month topic is fall into self-care on purpose. Okay. So that is the topic for the month of September. And I'm super excited about what's coming out of these journal prompts. Yeah, I'm super excited about them. So that is the theme. And I'll write that one. I'll type that in here. So September's theme. And as I'm typing that in here, if you have any questions, y'all, I'm just highly suggesting that you write them in the comment section, because today actually concludes the boot camp, okay? So yes, tomorrow I'll be putting the link to Patreon, but I'm more than likely not going to answer any more questions after midnight tonight. So if you have any questions, I just highly suggest that you ask them. There's no dumb question. If you want to see something done on a sheet of paper within reason, you might want to ask. September theme. All right, so that is the theme. September's theme is fall into self-care on purpose, all right? And so I know a lot of us look at self-care, and I'm just ready to crack that egg open and show you so many different versions of what self-care can be. And as Leah mentioned, to see what some people view as self-care, all right? So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, y'all, I hope y'all journals are advancing, and I hope after this you're still gonna know. So I'm super excited. So Joy mentioned earlier washi will turn a page into something real quick. Like add a little washi here and there, Yep. So, oh yeah, KP is. I just got my shipping notification. Had to get me a pen. All right, y'all. So I'm just adding a little bit more on here. And so perhaps when you do your weekly read about this journal boot camp, you may want to set goals to journal next week. Do you want to journal 2 times next week? That will definitely be something to do. All right, so this is goals. Oh, uh-oh. It's over here. And then y'all know I'm gonna try to find me a little sticker somewhere. Feel like a sticker has to go somewhere on the page. And after I finish my page, since y'all don't have any questions, we're gonna wrap this on up. And again, I hope you enjoyed the boot camp and you got something from it. And I just want to say thank you again so much. And I don't think I got too many flowers I'm gonna be able to use out of this book. I pretty much have used all the colors. I'm just merely on the quest to use up some stickers, y'all. I'm just ready for these stickers to go. And I like layering stickers, so that may be something you want to work with. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, layering is fun as well. Wrong side. Oh, drive safely, Tammy. And I'll leave this replay up. Y'all, I'll be deleting it Monday. But I know realistically it's a Saturday, so some people won't be able to catch up until probably tomorrow. But Sunday, yeah, let me be clear. So Monday, the group will be deleted, not archived. I know a lot of y'all are used to me archiving groups, but the group will be deleted in its entirety, okay? So if you need to look around, get some ideas on how to finish your journal prompts, because I know all of y'all didn't, and you might be like, ooh, now I want to finish mine because I want my book to fill up. So if you need some examples, then I would highly suggest looking at them tonight and finishing whatever entry. Even if you just have to draw your picture to finish, you may want to do that tonight, because on a Monday it definitely will be gone. All right. And so we had this page. We had this one. And I really enjoyed it, y'all. Like, this was fun. So, and then I'll finish. And then one of the things that I'll do with mine back here is actually my recap on the 7-day boot camp and how I feel, what I learned from it, what was my takeaway. It's kind of like the recap, but it's almost my whole experience with it, so that I can watch this. The video on Patreon are saved. Now, let me say this. Patreon is a monthly thing, so there will be certain things that will be taken down. So say for instance you signed up for September. When October comes around, the journal prompts that were put on there for September, I'll take those down, because let's just say I have Patreons now that are on there for August. It wouldn't be fair for people to come in September and have access to those journal prompts from August. So those will come down, and if it's like a show me how to videos, those will stay up. But anything that's related to those journal prompts that y'all received the month before, those will come down. If it's a how to use washi tape in my journal or how to create a junk journal page, those will stay. So I hope that kind of explains it. So I would say 85% of your videos will stay up in Patreon, but your journal prompts will go missing. And there'll be a reminder that's put in the group the weekend before. So like there'll be a reminder that goes in there tonight like, hey ladies, if you need to re-download the journal prompts, go ahead and do that. Because they'll be taken down after the 1st, which is tomorrow. So yeah, y'all, that's my journal. And then I can show you one last thing. So I will show y'all how my A6 is coming along. Y'all, this is my new little jam. So on Patreon, y'all will see me working in this little thing. So I'm really liking it. I'm able to write journal entries, notes. This is just a blank page that I'm going to do affirmations on. This is the Speak Life, Sports Physical, just some notes, a journal entry. Game day, Lord, y'all, my baby first game, honey, they got a goose egg. But I like tracking everything, okay? And then this is today, and then I have a journal entry that I'll write in here. So this was really fun. So that's how that's coming along, and I can't wait to try some watercolors and stuff in here. So that is my A6. So that's going to be, y'all will see this more in Patreon group because this is my little jam. Thank you, Leah. Y'all, Leah was my enabler. She was my enabler. So I'm going to actually add a pocket in here. And so y'all, if you've seen all that you need to see, at this point, I'm just doing a little bit of rambling because we have like 15 minutes left. I kind of like putting a whole hour into it. So again, if you have any questions, put them in there. I hope everything was explained as good. And hopefully I will see many of you on Patreon, okay? I want to see all of y'all, really. But hopefully I can see a good amount of y'all. Oh, that's what I forgot to say. I'm sorry, y'all. Also in Patreon, you get access to a secret Facebook group. So it won't be closed like the one we're in now. You won't be able to search it. So I'll have to add you in via your email address. So that one will be strictly for people that are on Patreon. And the difference is I won't list the journal prompts in the group. You would have had to get the journal prompts from Patreon because remember, it wouldn't make sense for me to put the journal prompts for the $25 tier and that Facebook group, the $10 tier and the $25 tier will be allowed in that group. And that's how we can keep the momentum up of you being able to journal. So that was a huge one that I left out. Sorry about that. Yes, I think it'll be filled in a month. If not a month, it'll be filled in probably 2.5. I'll give it 2.5. Okay, so y'all, with this, this is Astrology. You can do quite a bit in here. Like if you have scrapbooking paper, sticker dolls, you can turn this into a planner, a list maker, grocery shopping, recipes. And that's another thing. Your journal can be whatever you want it to be. If you wanted to have recipes in your journals, if you wanted to print out, like what I liked about the boot camp, some of you all printed out the lyrics. It's just so much you can do with your journal. So please don't limit yourself to thinking it has to be, as I like to say, a Dear Diary. It does not have to be a Dear Diary moment. It's totally what you want it to be. Now, if you're looking at this and you're getting like, oh, I feel like I got the hype, I just got to have Astrology. If you do not like thin paper, this is not for you. Don't even play yourself. Yes, wish lists are awesome. Another list that's good to go in your journals, places you want to visit, places you want to see, and or a list of restaurants you have tried. This washi, Leah, I think this was out of one of those tubes. And it's almost gone too. This was like one of my favorite ones. I think it was out of one of those tubes. I'm almost certain it was one of those tubes. Yeah, so your retirement life, living it up life, home life. I mean, if you don't have a work life, you just don't have a work life. You don't even have to put it. If you want to put your retirement life on there, you can. Your travel life, whatever you're replacing your work life with can be on there. I think I had this little piece of washi tape lifted up. Yeah, so when you're doing that recap, it can be whatever topic you want it to be. Was it from that tube? You might be right, because you know what? Here's the other one I think that came in it. Yeah, I'm up here grabbing stuff out of a washi bowl. Yeah, because this one came out of it as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm to practice on my lettering, and I'm just so slack about it. Every now and then I do it. I have a whole book dedicated to practicing on lettering. And I'm such a rebel. And then I'll turn around and be like, but my lettering is not improving. I'll make it happen. See, that's how you know I just be picking up stuff, y'all. And so normally, y'all, if I'm doing something like this, I probably would be in the bed doing this. Watching YouTube. Oh yeah, your cardstock, your designer scissors are good to do your pages. Cardstock goes a long way. What is today's date? Today is, what's that day, y'all? The 31st. Y'all, can you believe it's about to be September? It's crazy. It's the 31st. All right, so we're going to write that date in somewhere. They have these little lines that they want somebody in real life to see. And while my vision is pretty darn good, don't nobody got time to be putting that up to your face. So we are going to write the date in. Now, if you have friction highlighters, your secret is don't start writing on top of it until it completely dries. Otherwise, that's why you're probably frustrated, like, why is it smudging when I write? So do not write on top of it until it dries. I had to learn it the hard way, because I was ready to write them a review. And then something said, try that again. And y'all, highlighters are really good for your journals too. Like if you want to kind of make your pages pop, put that little highlighter in there real quick. You'll think you created a whole masterpiece. Yeah, I was so ready to send these things, and their colors are so pretty and pastel. Well, they got some vibrant colors too. But y'all, they're so pretty and like pastel-y, and that's why I bought them. Pastel-y is not a word. Y'all caught that. But they're so pretty and pastel. And when I first bought it, I was like, these got to go. But it was a user error. It was a user error. See, and it's still not dry. Wait a minute. First of all, no, that's not me. I need a broader tip pen. Now, my 0.1 didn't work very well on it, but this is a 0.5 that I'm writing with now. That works a little bit better. And this particular pen that I'm using is a Staedtler Pigment Liner 0.05. It's really more so for drawing. They're like drawing pens, but I kind of buck the system sometimes and use things that are not intended for a little pink in here, that are not intended for writing. Another one that you'll notice that's really not intended for writing, but we use it a lot, bullet journalers use them, the Micron. If you ever notice your microns are going out pretty fast, it's because they're really not intended for how we're using them. Like to draw the lines, sure, but to actually do journal entries, not so much. So just kind of be mindful of that. While I'm doing this and I'm almost finished, let's talk about pens. Now, I know some of you all are probably like, I can't stand to see the page ghost. And ghosting means you pretty much can see it on the backside. Once you get into Hobonichis and Stalogies or Stalogies, I say Stalogy. When you get into those, the paper is super thin. When you buy your traditional journal from Marshall's, Target, TJ Maxx, Walmart, most of those pages are going to be super thin. You're not really going to get into thicker paper until you get into like bullet type journals like Scribbles That Matter and Olive, and those are very, very expensive. So if you find yourself a little frustrated, your marker tip pens are going to be better. Not your fine tip by Sharpie, but your marker tip pens by Stabilo, Staedtler. Some of those are going to be better for your thin paper. And old school ballpoint pens. Don't sleep on ballpoint pens. I know y'all get in the planner community and the planner community makes you feel like ballpoint pens are taboo. There are some very good writing ballpoint pens. Do I have any in front of me? I usually keep my ballpoint pens by my bed, but I think I have a few of them. The RSVP ballpoint pen is the bomb. Don't sleep on those. There's also another one called, really, I've loved ballpoint pens, Caliber. Those are good. So with ballpoint pens, honestly, y'all, my handwriting is, in my opinion, 100 times better when I write with ballpoint pen. And I have a pretty decent handwriting, but I write really good with ballpoint pens. But it has, the ink has to flow a certain way for a ballpoint pen to be worth using. But again, like if you have your $4.99 journals, your $2.99 journals, you're really probably going to want to lean more so toward a marker-based pen or a ballpoint pen versus a gel pen. A gel pen is going to be, it's just going to be janky if you don't like seeing ghosting. Now, if you see ghosting and it bothers you that much, what you can do is one side of your journal could be kind of like a decor page. So let's just say your left-hand side is always going to be a decor page. Then you might do scrapbooking paper on one side, your journal entry on the other side. That way you don't really have to worry about seeing the ghosting, because every time you turn, you're going to put something on this side. So it's not going to bother you that much. Is it going to be more time consuming? Yeah, absolutely. But it's up to you. Right, and Tarshell said it very well. Use your budget. Everything that I'm listing, a lot of y'all probably already have in the house. If you are a planner, and y'all will hear me talk about planner and journal because a lot of it is synonymous on certain things that we do. Most of you all have everything that I mentioned in your house. If you have ever gone on a planner meltdown, and that's what I'm gonna call it, planner meltdown, where you have gone and bought all the things, most of you all have ballpoint marker pens. You have even probably went and bought, where's that pen? It's not in front of me. there was this pen I just had to have. It was a Pilot Colito. And I don't even use it a lot, y'all. Dollar Tree has decent ball pen, and so does Staples. Staples ballpoint pens are like, bang. I can write with those, y'all, and y'all might be like, oh, girl, what kind of pen is that? And it will be a straight less than 9 cents per pack pen. So, yeah, so look through the things that you have. I know, and I barely use it. Look through the things that you have and start using them in your journal. If I showed y'all, let me see if I can show y'all. And this ain't even show y'all my pens. I can't even show you one. It's like, it's just ridiculous. There's no other word. So this is one of my pen stashes. Just one. This is one, and it's actually not organized where it needs to be. So I usually have, oh y'all, this is the Staples pen. This is my Staples pen. Yep, this is my Staples pen. So, Joy, don't be talking about, sorry y'all, my notifications are going on. Oh, y'all, making a mess. Making a mess. So those are like, that's probably 20% of my pen collection. So by all means, I know there's some others in here that have that many pens and more. So just go through your pens. But yeah, Joy, this is like tracing paper. It's not for everybody, but it is, yeah, it's not for everybody. It's a different type of paper, and I like it. Honestly, this paper is really good for fountain pens, which I have those too. These are my fountain pens, but my ink is dried out. I have to get my cartridges. But yeah, your fountain pens. Yeah, like I know a lot of people when they first see it, they're like, oh, I don't like this paper. And then they get it and it's like, okay, I actually like this stuff. It's pretty decent. So it's just a matter of trying it. And it's not for everybody, but most people that have tried it, tried the Stalogy, nobody goes back. Or the Hobonichi. A few people are like, yeah, y'all can have it. But a huge amount actually roll with it. All right, y'all, we are pretty much done. I'm about to put this Write Your Heart Out at the bottom. And so remember, your assignment for the night is the weekly recap. So make sure you get that done. Do not cheat yourself on this 7th day. Get it done, get it done, get it done. Please don't cheat yourself on the 7th day, y'all. Y'all have worked so hard. Yes, I do use pencils. My favorite pencil is a... Oh, Bridget, do you have that pencil in front of you? Because you know I'm going to mess that whole name up. It starts with the T. Yeah, I'm not even going to play myself. I think I have one right on the left-hand side of me. I can't say that name is unique wrong because when I say I will mess that whole name of that pencil up. Yeah, I'm opening my other thing of pens and pencils. That's what y'all hear me doing. Here it is. Let's see. This is my favorite pencil brand. It's called It's by Dixon though. Yeah. Tasha. See, yeah, these are, y'all, like when I say the bomb, they're the bomb. The lead in it is just unmatched. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Yeah, the lead in those pencils are unmatched. So yes, I do use pencils. I actually use my pencils before I draw. So I sketch out with pencils, go over, and then I erase it. And I use the eraser I use is white. And of course it's not near me. But the eraser I use is white. I cannot think of the name of that one either. And I also use, it's eraser putty. It's almost like gum, and that actually helps you smudge and clean up little stuff around if you're really getting into, like, so if I wanted to do like a sketch drawing in here, then I would do a sketch drawing in here, and it's a particular eraser that I use. And oh, here it is. This is the eraser that looks like gum. So this is actually an eraser. Let me show you what it does. Okay. So let's just say I did a hello. Say I wanted to go down. And if y'all didn't know, this is kind of like faux lettering, where you write the word out and then you create the fat lines. And I'm not doing this for perfection or anything right now. I'm just showing y'all what you can do with. And you pretty much just go on your down line. So whatever letters you draw, you take the thicker part on the down line. All right, so if you see, if you just need to take a little bit of it off, or if I kind of wanted to do a ombre effect, you just dab and it's going to do more of an ombre effect. Let me go in darker so you can see it. And it's really sensitive, but it'll just take it down to an ombre effect. So it allows you to do just a little bit. And so when you buy the block, it comes in like a square. And it's going to look like a hard square. And then you just pull it and do that. Okay, Leah, I will see you tomorrow. And I'll have the stuff up in the morning on there. But yeah, y'all, so that's how you use these. So pencils can be really fun in your journal. And again, this is certain things that I can show y'all on Patreon. So it's like, if this is something you want to see, once I do a poll, you'll put that, and we can actually do a pencil page, okay? So yeah, these are really fun. But yeah, and then I just ball it up, and then I have a little tray that I put it on. And keep it away from kids, because they'll probably think it's some gum, and you don't want them putting it in their mouth. Okay, y'all, so I enjoyed tonight's live. I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's live. That was the front page if you saw that. And that says pause on purpose. So a quick recap. Patreon link will go up in the morning. I will schedule it to post in the morning. The actual journal prompts will drop on the 2nd, but your first assignment will be already listed in Patreon If you've signed up for the $10 and the $25 tier, there will be a secret Facebook group. It's not the same group as the 7-day boot camp. It will be a group that you have to be added in by you in that. And Monday, the group will actually delete completely. So whatever you need to see in there, go ahead and look at it, reflect, get your journal moment. If you wanted to post one more thing with the weekly recap, that's totally fine. And then that is it, y'all. So y'all have an amazing night. And also stay up, and Monday they will disappear as well, all right? Good night.